If you don't mind sharing, Gersh,
Yeah.
about these challenges, was it purely moving related? Was it something else? Like you don't have to divulge. I'm just sort of curious to see
Yeah, some
what
of them
what
was,
was sort of the catalyst, really.
yeah, I think moving and sort of then living, with someone brings up many different things. I think some of the stuff that was coming up last week was, you know, um, how I approach, a relationship with a significant other. How do I get better at those relationships rather
Mm,
than going on repeat and, without sort of consciously thinking about, how do I bring kind of the best of me out in this relationship? How do I, grow and be the best I can be in that? And for me, that's a conscious thing, right? Otherwise, I'll
mm,
just fall into the same routines and same patterns. And I'm a big believer that, that's kind of those routines and patterns have gotten me what I've got in the past. So if I want something different for the future, I've got to think about that consciously
I
and do things
suppose it's a bit of
differently.
a I suppose it's a bit of a balance, isn't it, mate? Like it's good to have routine, it's good to have
Mm,
normalcy, it's good to know what you're doing every day.
mm,
But I think in a relationship, you still need that spontaneity, that dynamicism. Um,
mm,
it's a good reminder for me to go to my wife to give her a kiss.
mm. And just even sort of sitting back and saying, who am I being? Right? Am I just bringing the same shit back up? Or am I, am I identifying, hey, this stuff's coming up for me? Is that the best of me? Or,
Hmm.
would I like to, approach it differently?
Is there a
You know,
fear of replicating a bad habit in a way?
I've got one of my limiting beliefs, right? To coin the great man Tony Robbins, right? Is and one of my stories that I tell myself is that I'm not good with relationships, right? And so that's, yeah, is that a fear or limiting sort of factor in my mind? I see sometimes it is. So trying to break through that, like remodel that is kind of where I'm at the moment as well. I think that there's a lot of stories around that.
There is, mate. That's a very nuanced feeling. That's really unique to you.
Yeah. So I mean, that's one of the things that again back to that point around sort of using this experience and these changes as an opportunity to learn and grow.
Mm.
Um, just to get straight up with you, I'm going to see another good friend of mine who is just not just started, but just moved a psychology practice near where I live now. So I'm actually going to um, see this person to work on this specific point, relationships, and in particular,
Wow. Wow.
in particular, relationships with significant others, because I just think I can get better at it.
When you say better,
Mm.
how would you define that?
Um,
Have you defined that?
for me, it's not letting the mistakes of the past become the mistakes of the future. I mean, it's applying wisdom to that experience of life and applying that wisdom to the experience of the relationship and almost creating the relationship that you want and creating the the who I want to be in that relationship, and that's how I would define it, right? And for me, that's me just bringing the best I can be, and you can't do that all the time, right? I'm human,
No, we're not
right?
perfect, bud.
Yeah, and I don't want to be perfect, to be honest, but I don't want to make the same mistakes over and over again, right?
You know what's funny, right? Like you're
Mm.
very much very savvy with business building, and I see a bit of parallels in a way. Let me know if you agree or disagree, right?
Uh-huh.
Would you want to approach the next relationship having the experience and baggage of the past? Or would you want to see a relationship or business, as a matter of fact, as something completely new where you're not anchored by the past?
It's a really good point, right? And so, and I think I'm glad you actually kind of went down this path because it's new, like it's novel, because it just is,
It's
because
like it's like a shiny red car.
yeah, it's someone new, it's someone different, and that's more so why I want to remain open and work on myself so I can keep approaching it open with that new sense of,
Yeah.
of wonder, rather
I
than
love it.
letting those patent programs, right, which are sitting there wired into your subconscious,
Yeah.
just without you thinking about it, letting those overtake how you approach it. You go back into that again, you jump back on that hamster wheel. I don't want to do that. And that's where, the rate changes and stuff that I'm kind of going through at the moment.
Mm.
I think it really sort of snapped me back out of it and said, hey, here's the opportunity, right? Here's the opportunity to sort of, take these learnings and growings and, change things up. Be a bit more open, not go back on the pre-programming, that I may have been just been succumbing to in the past with other relationships. Don't know if that
Mm.
makes sense at all.
No. It makes perfect sense. It's sort of, if you were to sort of sum it up, it's sort of the whole analogy of or sort of phrase, once bitten, twice shy.
Mm,
And I'm not. There's no right or wrong here.
of course.
But it seems that would be pretty cool if you were 4 years old again and you didn't have those prior life experiences, and you saw this new partner and new relationship as something new, and you can sort of give your new self to it as opposed to being influenced by those sort of past nuances in the back of your head. I'm just sort of thinking out aloud here.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be lovely, right? If you could walk
Would that
into,
would that be lovely? I think.
yeah, I think so. I think if we could all walk into, whether it's a relationship or, I don't know, something with work or an interaction with anyone, and be completely open and not have any of our past kind of overriding.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
sort of like,
that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if it's
yeah.
possible, but it's pretty
What do
cool.
you reckon, mate? What do you reckon? I don't think
Pretty
you need.
cool.
I don't think you need to see your mate anymore, mate. I think you're good. Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be pretty something if you could walk into? Let's broaden it out here, right? Would
Mm,
it be a business? Would it be your life or a friendship,
mm,
or just something new? Wouldn't it be good to encounter that experience for what it is?
mm-hmm. Yeah. To be completely present in that moment and
What?
open,
Yeah.
mate. What a gift you would give whoever it is on the other end of that interaction.
Wow. I think that's pretty cool. I'm not too
Mm,
sure if your partner's going to listen to this, and then maybe she might get a few cues here, but just don't
yeah.
mind me, girls. I don't mean to sort of, you know, purposely paint a positive layer on top of it, because every experience is unique. We all have different backgrounds, right? But
Yeah.
just a different perspective on things.
Yeah. Yeah. And just and sometimes, those interactions require you to bring the experience of your past forward,
Mm.
right? And I guess that's the your own personal judgment has to come into play, because you can't not use the wisdom of the past, right? Otherwise, you'd get run over by a car each time you cross the road.
It's true.
Right? You get it. But it's that balance and that sort of understanding of, hey, again, if you're having an interaction with a colleague, right, and maybe there's something going on, or they rolled you up, or you get a nasty email from them at some point, right? Being able to
Mm.
sort of know that, hey, I've got that coming up for me, but I'm about to walk into it, an interaction with them. Can I just put that to one side and just leave it out of this interaction I'm about to have, and just go and open and be myself, and approach it a different angle, rather than let that, I don't know, what could be something negative
Yeah.
overrun, right? And then put me into a state that is probably going to give me more propensity for another negative interaction, right? Do you know what I mean? Like it's that type of stuff.